Hello, Nuggets Nation. Welcome to the desert, the valley, the site of Game 6 of this second round matchup. The Denver Nuggets here in Phoenix taking on the Suns. Katie Winge, Scott Hastings, welcome to YouTube Live, presented by UC Health. We are previewing this Game 6 matchup. Denver Nuggets took a 3-2 lead in the series in that Game 5 in Denver. Scotty, what do you want to see them carry over from Game 5 to Game 6
Well,
here?
I think it boils down really simply. You look at Devin Booker. We figured it out today on the radio show that Durant and Booker are shooting about 64 to 65% of all their shots. Well, when they were here, Booker set an NBA record and shot 79% in the 2 games, 3 and 4. He's still great. He's around 50% at home, which is Herculean. But 79 is Superman-y, right? And we need him to get rid of the Manny, get rid of the Superman-y, just become Hercules. Because if you're going to take that many shots, you talk about a difference between shooting 79% and just 50%. I mean, that's probably a difference of 6, 7, 8 field goals in the games that were as close as they were here in 3 and 4. You win those games now.
Yeah.
So you got to keep doing what you did to Booker and stay on top of him.
I took a couple notes on that. So Booker and Durant in the first 2 games of the series at home combined for 158 points. Those 2 in games 3 and 4.
Yeah.
And you mentioned the field goal percentage for Booker. He was 34 of 43, shooting 79%.
Missed 9 shots in 2 games.
That cannot happen.
Yeah,
The Nuggets,
43 shots.
The Nuggets made a couple adjustments. They started picking him up full court in Game 5. Are you expecting a similar effort there in terms of defense?
I think it's also big. I think Christian Brown, he's not at this stage in his career going to throw out these big Herculean offensive numbers, but I think defensively he can bother him. They had Gordon on there, and that play right there is one of the great defensive plays. You see Booker trying to put his shoulder on. Well, Gordon don't go nowhere. He's a little thicker, a little bigger, and I think a bigger, stronger player on Booker kind of affect him. I also think KCP, when he was on him, did a better job of staying in front of him. You got to stay in front of him whenever you can.
They've been physical, especially in that Game 5. KCP ended up getting the Defensive Player of the Game chain, and he was credited in the locker room amongst the staff for the effort that he came out with, for the focus that he came out with against Devin Booker. And that defense has to travel tonight, Scotty.
Yeah, he has to have, you want him to win 2.
Yeah.
You want him to win back-to-back defensive players. He's great. I thought he was very good on Durant also. And you know, They read a great article on The Athletic or something like that about that, and they talked about when Denver's offense starts clicking, they bring their defense with it, which I've been saying, for the last 3 or 4 years. For some reason, they do that. And they did that in that third quarter the other night in Game 5. That third quarter, the way it was played both offensively and defensively, can win you an NBA championship. That's how good that was. Listen, the team you're up 3-2 with ain't scrubbies. They ain't just some scrubbies. These guys can play, but they also played quicker. And Bruce Brown, this guy's playing downhill. But it was a combination of defense and offense that I think just makes them tough to beat.
The Nuggets in that third quarter, the combination of what you just mentioned, Scott, the defense with the offense, the way they were able to score the basketball and contain Phoenix. How do you put together closer to a full 48-minute effort like that?
You got to want this pretty bad. I mean,
yeah.
You got to want this and realize this is good. You almost hope out if you can find a way to win tonight, and you hope there's a way that Golden State can win tomorrow. And if that's the case, that's a whole nother extra day of rest. Jamal Murray not feeling well, didn't go to shoot-around, is questionable for the game tonight. Gives you an extra day to get that body right, get healthy. Now get back in the gym and start getting that conditioning going. So this is big, We said the other day, you just win your home games, you go to the NBA Finals. Mm-hmm. And that's still the case. Don't mess with that. I've seen a lot of teams go in there and mess with Game 6. All of a sudden, Game 7 doesn't come out the way they want it.
Yeah. Okay, let's give you an injury update around this Game 6 matchup, because you mentioned Jamal Murray, still questionable. He's going to go through his pregame warm-up, and then the Nuggets will talk about whether he's able to go. Non-COVID-related illness, was not at shoot-around this morning, so was getting a little bit of extra rest, a little bit of extra treatment. On the Suns side, though, no DeAndre Ayton and no Chris Paul. Still, what does no Ayton do to this Phoenix team?
Well, it puts Landale back out there, who I think has probably been more effective against Joker. and he's a bigger threat, I think, on the offensive glass because that's where he's going to score. I think he's more aggressive right now, so I don't think it hurts him that much. What hurts him now is who do you bring in behind Landale? And is that Biombo, who really hasn't played since the second game, I think, when he was just getting torched. So I think Landale's played really well in this series, but now you got to find somebody behind him that can match up. And if not, do you go real small? Do you put Durant on? Durant don't want anything to do with Joker.
Yeah.
So I don't think initially it's going to have that big of an effect, but it could by the end of the game.
All right, whether Jamal Murray goes or not, still up for debate, but let's talk about what he's been able to do so far in this series. It's been much more than just scoring for the Denver Nuggets. The Phoenix Suns have made it very difficult for him. What does he need to do in this Game 6 if he's able to go?
Well, and more so than at all before. He's got to let the game come to him. He finally kind of figured out the pressure, started attacking the pressure. He didn't just try to do it one-on-one. There was a game in Chicago years ago where Klay Thompson had like 47, and he put the ball on the floor 5 times or something like that. You want to see one of those type of nights with Jamal Murray where it's not dribble, back, boom, back a guy in. That's going to zap your energy, and I think it zapped his energy in a couple games already in this series. I think it's got to be boom, pass, dribble, handoff, get it. I can go to the basket. I can't kick it back, run the next play, get set, not try to force it, and let those guys the opportunity to beat you up.
Good news from the Coach Malone presser. Sounds like Jamal Murray will be good to go, just based on what I'm seeing, what I'm reading. The Malone presser is literally happening right now as we speak. He's greeting the media. So Jamal Murray likely will go for the Denver Nuggets. Won't be 100% because he's not feeling great, non-COVID related illness.
He's like Vic. Vic's under the weather right now, too.
Yeah.
But it's allergies. So, Vic and Jamal are going to tough it out tonight.
Well, but Coach Malone hasn't had a voice either, so... It's going around. It's going around, folks. Let's continue breaking down this Game 6 matchup in terms of what you're looking for. Let's talk about the fast break points that the Denver Nuggets were able to score in that Game 5. How do they get out and run in transition and allow that to be part of their identity?
Well, we just showed a highlight package of their offense just a second ago, and if you notice, basically all that was in transition. And people think that fast break or transition is, okay, we got the traditional guy, the ball in the middle, 2 wings out here, fill the wings, cross it over, send a guy. and that's not necessarily what it is. Playing fast in transition is getting the ball and going. And we said it in that last game. I think you got to even take it out of makes once in a while. Just get it up quick. Never let the defense set. You saw that right there. Shaman's not even close to where Murray is, and Murray's able to get an easy bucket because of it. You got to push the tempo. I know that Phoenix wants to play fast, but one of the few teams that can play just as fast as Phoenix is the Denver Nuggets, and they play better when they do that.
Yeah, that's been a huge part of who they defend, rebound, and run. And in order for you to be able to run, you have to defend and try not to have to take the ball out of...
You got to make a T-shirt of that.
What?
Defend, rebound, and run.
Defend, rebound, and run. I love that. I would wear that T-shirt.
Right?
I would rock that T-shirt. A couple questions from Nuggets Nation rolling in. If you guys have any questions, please put them in the comments. We'll try and answer as many as we can. Mr. Hastings, is Christian Brown earning respect from different people around the league?
I don't know about the league, and that may come eventually because too many of the people in the league who have votes don't get to watch all the teams play and see the intricacies of a team. I said this, and I don't know if it was you and I talked about it months ago. In fact, it was when I was sitting upstairs in the pre- and the post-game show and you were hosting. Watch how the vets treat him. And Jeff Green's and Nikola Jokic's a vet now, too. Got 8 years here, right? Nikola Jokic, all these older guys, the way they treat him, Bruce Brown, KCP, there's a love fest. There's an honor. Heck, I don't know if you can get a better comment on a player than what Joker said in the postgame in Game 5, and he said, I just call him a winner.
If I had one word to describe him.
That's a rookie. And so whether the league the league don't know nothing about Joker, right? It's whatever they read or somebody says about him, and blah, blah, blah. Okay, whatever. You know what? I just want to see a big gold shiny trophy on top of a fire truck in Denver in June. That's my entire goal in this whole thing.
All right, Nuggets fans, if you want to be a part of all of the action at Ball Arena, you have a chance to become a season ticket member. Thanks to the passion and dedication of Nuggets Nation, full season ticket memberships for the 23-24 season, they've actually reached capacity. We have partial memberships available, though, with many benefits, many perks. And as a partial season ticket member, you get priority access to full memberships when they do open up. So you can become a partial member today by visiting nuggets.com. And that's how you get your foot in the door.
Well, and it's good. Let's be honest, we're all busy. And if all of a sudden you get into a quarter of the games as opposed to all of them, I think that benefits you, man. That's cool.
When we're talking about X factors in some of these games throughout this series, we saw Landry Shamet huge in Game 4, knocking down those threes. But last game in Denver, Bruce Brown off the bench was tremendous for Denver. What did you like most about what he was able to do?
Well, let me ask you a question. What do you think is more sustainable, Shamet hitting threes, because that's really kind of what he did, or Bruce Brown playing downhill?
Bruce Brown playing downhill.
See, and I think so,
that
too.
That feels very much in control.
Now, he's probably not going to get 10 free throws. I mean, I don't know if people realize Bruce Brown had more free throws than Nikola Jokic did, but he just played downhill and wasn't afraid to challenge anybody. And I think he's got to continue to do that. And when that happens, I think good things are going to happen for the whole team.
The bench with Bruce Brown leading the way has been better, and the Nuggets, when that second unit has been productive, they've found more success, especially in this series against Phoenix.
Well, he's going to be the key. Jeff is going to, you need Jeff to hit a couple shots, but Jeff is your backup to Gordon to stop Durant, or at least be aware on Durant. And then Christian, if he can get his and hustle, get his on an extra pass, dunk, get out in the lane, dunk. That's what. But the score off the bench has got to be Bruce Brown. And he even admitted it when we talked to him in the postgame the other day. He said, man, I was still thinking about Game 4. I only had 5 points.
Yep.
And he's got to live probably in that 12 to, well, let's put it up 25 now, 12 to 25 range, big range. But he's got to be in double figures, and I think when he is, I think the bench will be fine.
Another question that just came through: will we see Peyton Watson tonight?
Gosh, I'm still thinking there's a chance. I don't, and you and I haven't talked about this, but we watched him warm up yesterday. He had a little more intent in that warm up before that game. So I think somebody probably, coach somebody said, hey, make sure you're ready. Be ready. Because, man, I watched him warm up. And he had a sweat. He had a froth going. I'm like, that ain't a dude that's thinking he's sitting on the bench the whole game.
Well, and what's funny is that I told you guys when I was listening in one of the huddles, Peyton Watson is about to check in because he took off his warm up. He was in his uniform ready to go in, and then he didn't. I don't know if he was just getting warm in Ball Arena or what was happening, but he's definitely been more locked in, more focused. I think that's a very real conversation that he probably had with some of the coaches. And tonight in particular, if you see Devin Booker, if you see Kevin Durant making all the shots and you want to give him a different look, that might be the different look you go
Well, and we just showed you a handful of plays of Durant and Watson mostly playing defense, and Durant made 2 tough shots. That's all you can ask for. I mean, it's actually good defense. The block they called on Christian Brown, which was, I thought, a great block shot, and they called a foul on him. That's all you can ask for, because every time a hand's right there, that's making that offensive player think about it.
Michael Porter Jr., too, is another guy I wanted to focus in on. 5 of 8 from the three-point line. He got the Nuggets going. And honestly, Scotty, kept their offense in the game when nobody else was making shots.
Well, I thought I heard or saw a stat that they're like 26-8 this year when he makes four threes. I mean, it's a crazy, stupid stat. So I'm like, Michael, make 4 threes right away. Let's go. Now, his big thing next thing to do is sustain it, right? 14 in the first. Let's make sure we end up with about 28-30, because I don't think if Michael Porter Jr. gets around 30 points, 25, I don't think you win. I don't think you lose any game.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I think they're that good because I think everybody else are going to do their things. He's a big key.
He made an interesting comment on one of my questions this morning at shoot around. I just asked him, what gets you going offensively right now? And he mentioned Phoenix has taken away a lot of my looks in terms of sets, in terms of screening action. Where he feels like he's at his best right now is just random basketball, whether that be in transition, whether that be a play breaks down and he's relocating along the three-point line. That's where he feels he really has an advantage.
He did something late. It was, I think, the third quarter that I wanted to jump out of the gym. I was so excited about. They have tried to, in the series, hide Booker on him. And when Michael gets the sets taken away, he tends to stand. And so he took Booker, went right to the post. He flashed in the cut. They missed him on the pass, but then all of a sudden he gets a Joker. Joker finds him, and Booker fouls him. And I'm telling you, if they're going to try to hide a Booker so he can rest on defense, and that's why they're doing it, then I love Michael saying, we're running an XYZ. Well, I'm going to put in a W because, boom, I'm open. This can't guard me. And that's 6'4", 6'5" against 6'11". He's going to kill Booker in the paint. So I love that. I hope they look at that more. I hope they find that more.
Yeah, Michael Porter Jr. making shots is a huge key to the Denver Nuggets' success. And just making shots tonight in general, I know that seems simple, but we were talking about that earlier. It might come down to shot making by the Denver Nuggets.
Well, Denver made 13 threes in Game 5. They made 6 or 7 in Game 4. And you win the game easily.
Correlation.
And I think that's a big saying. If they're making their shots tonight, then I think we can have a nice, restful, rainy weekend.
Another question coming in. What did you have as a pregame meal?
Well, some really chewy beef and some scalloped potatoes. And a salad.
Not his favorite. Not his favorite.
And a salad. No, I like good beef, but that wasn't necessarily that. But I did have a nice salad.
Yeah.
You know, fiber.
Here's what we will tell you about Phoenix at halftime. They have a giant cookie platter and popcorn available for us, which that ends up being my dinner.
Oh, so you go down and get that's why you need to. You're waiting for the cookies?
Yes. Yep. And I had the protein smoothie before I came over to the arena.
Well, I'm upstairs back over here with Kaz. I did notice a hot dog store that wasn't too busy.
Oh.
Could be a hot dog halftime. This guy will eat his hot dogs. And all you out there, have you ever seen the sausage made? I don't care. I like hot dogs. I like sausages. I like bratwurst.
Okay, we've made it.
And there's a family in Alaska right now laughing and smiling, and they're absolutely happy and clapping for me right now. And an elk brat.
We have made it almost all the way through this show without specifically talking about Nikola Jokic, who just passed Wilt Chamberlain, most postseason triple-doubles for a center of all time. Another Wilt record that's been broken. What type of effort do the Nuggets need from Nikola Jokic tonight, depending on how Phoenix guards them?
This is the most open-ended answer to that question that anybody will give you. Be Joker.
Yeah.
And Joker is, you're going to go one-on-one with me, and you're going to let me get 25 field goals, and you're going to put me in the line 10 times. I'm going to beat you. You're going to let me go out there, and you're going to dump me, and you're going to let me dump off to people for layups. I'm going to beat you. I will say this, especially if Landale starts. Important for him to keep him off the offensive glass early, because that's the only way on the offensive end Landale's going to hurt you. Got to keep him off the glass. I'd like to see him around 13 to 15 rebounds again. I think he beats you again.
Do you think that the Suns will mix in double teams more than maybe we've seen because there is no Ayton out there?
I think because this is an elimination game for Phoenix. Here's an old saying. It's about you. Katie barred the door. I think that they're going to throw everything. I think you're going to see sometime during late third quarter a kitchen sink being thrown out there by Monty Williams to try to figure out what to do.
My mom just texted me. She hasn't commented in the YouTube, but she said there's a family in Minnesota that is laughing, and my dad says he's with you. He loves hot dogs.
See? That's why your daughter likes
the
me.
Winchies also love hot dogs.
She didn't know it as she ate her dry salmon, but
I
hey.
did not eat that.
Well, Vic did. He said it was dry salmon.
What are you most excited about in this Game 6 matchup?
A hot dog at halftime. That's one of the.
It's become the full identity of the show.
I'm honestly thinking about doing that now. I was just joking, but now I got kind of a. I'm kind of like
set the table for the matchup.
I'm kind of like Winnie the Pooh. I got a little rumbly in my tumbly. I'm looking for Denver to come out like champions and say, let's end this thing tonight. Let's have a great flight home. Off day tomorrow. Watch the Lakers and Golden State. And then start getting ready for whoever we're going to play on Saturday. How
big do you think the Game 5 was and the way in which they won it in terms of confidence coming back to this building and being able to get a win?
Well, I was talking to a Suns personnel when I was coming up here, and they go, we can't believe how easily you guys always seem to beat us there. And I think there's a confidence. Denver plays at home. And, again, I'll repeat myself. Just win your home games. You're going to the NBA Finals. Now, depending on who wins over there, you may have to win a game on the road. But that's okay. But I don't know, man. Listen, I'm excited because of the adventure. I got to play in a handful of Game 7s, and they were unbelievable. Game 6s are scary when you have to win. We won a game 5 in Boston on the road to go up 3-2, and then blew it at home in a game 6, like Lakers could do tomorrow, and end up losing by 3 points in a game 7. So, listen, take care of business. Don't put a game up to fate. Don't leave a game up to fate. Take care of your business when you can.
I love it. That's going to do it for this YouTube Live presented by UC Health, previewing Game 6 coming up here in the Valley. Denver Nuggets looking to get this one on the road, punch their ticket to the Western Conference Finals. Our coverage tonight, obviously this Nuggets Live on YouTube is just completing. Turn on your TVs right now. Nuggets Courtside starts at 7 p.m. Join us then. And then after the game, full coverage. Interviews with players, coaches, all the above.
Champagne.
Hopefully we're celebrating. That's on Else to the Locker Room Report. Join us there.